Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling some pretty big topics in the business software world, specifically SAP, ERP, and SAP BPC.
Right. You hear these acronyms thrown around a lot.
Exactly. And our goal here is really just to demystify them a bit. We want to clarify what they do, why companies bother with them, and crucially, how they fit together.
Yeah, it's about getting a clearer picture. We've looked at some articles that break each one down, so we should be able to, map it out.
Okay, cool. So let's start with SAP ERP. People often call it the central hub or maybe the nervous system of a company. What does that actually mean in practice?
Well, think of it as the system that handles almost everything that happens day to day in real time.
Like orders, inventory.
Yeah, exactly. Taking customer orders, checking stock, managing production, handling the financials. It connects all those different pieces. It's basically the engine keeping the daily operations running.
Okay. So why would a company invest, often quite heavily, in something like this? What are they really trying to get out of it?
The big drivers are usually efficiency, first off. Automating routine tasks,
Less manual work, fewer mistakes.
Precisely. It cuts down on errors and frees people up. But maybe even more critical is the data integration part.
Ah, the single source of truth thing people talk about.
That's it.
Oh.
Everyone's working from the same data, which means better accuracy, more consistency,
Mhm.
and that leads to, well, better decision-making because you have real-time insights.
Right.
Plus, it naturally improves collaboration because departments aren't operating in silos anymore. And it's scalable. It can grow with a business.
Okay, that's helpful. Could you maybe give us one or two really quick examples? Just make it concrete.
Sure. So a sales order comes in. The ERP system can automatically check if you have the product in stock.
Okay.
Create the order, figure out the shipping schedule, send out the invoice, all pretty much automated.
Right.
Or in purchasing, if your raw material stock dips below a certain point, the system can just automatically trigger a request to order more.
Got it. And for finance?
It pulls all the financial data together from, sales, purchasing, production to generate things like your balance sheet or income statement.
Okay, that paints a clear picture of ERP as the sort of operational core. So now let's switch gears to SAP BPC. You mentioned it focuses more on financial planning. How does that differ?
Yeah, that's a really key distinction. If ERP is about managing the present, the day-to-day transactions, BPC is much more focused on the future.
Planning ahead.
Exactly. It's got specialized tools specifically for budgeting, for forecasting, for consolidating financial results, and even for running different planning scenarios, like what-if analyses.
So if a company's already got a solid ERP system managing operations, why add BPC? What's the extra value?
Well, BPC provides much more detailed and, frankly, more powerful tools just for planning and budgeting.
Hmm.
ERP tracks what happened. BPC helps you plan what should happen.
Okay.
And it's really essential for companies that have, say, multiple subsidiaries or operate internationally. BPC automates the consolidation of all their financials.
Ah, handling different currencies, different accounting rules.
Exactly that. It's complex.
Yeah.
And BPC is built to handle it. Plus, that ability to model different scenarios. What if sales go up 10%? What if costs increase? That's huge for strategic planning.
Right, I can see that. Can you give us a couple of examples for BPC too?
Sure. Think about the annual budgeting process. BPC can collect all the budget inputs from different departments.
Instead of emailing spreadsheets everywhere.
Right. It collects it, consolidates it, lets managers analyze it centrally.
Hmm.
Or, for sales forecasting, BPC can pull the historical sales data, often directly from the ERP system, by the way, and use that to build projections.
Okay.
And like we said, for a big multinational, BPC is crucial for rolling up all the financial statements from different countries into one consolidated report that meets, regulatory standards.
So ERP is the detailed record of the past and present, and BPC uses that to build the financial map for the future. How do they actually talk to each other? How does the information get from ERP to BPC?
Yeah, and this is where they really work well together. SAP ERP basically acts as the main source for all that actual real-world data, financial transactions, operational numbers.
The ground truth.
The ground truth, exactly.
Yep.
And SAP BPC is designed specifically to connect to ERP and pull that data in for its planning, budgeting, and consolidation tasks.
And is that connection smooth? Or is it a lot of manual work to get the data across?
No, generally it's pretty seamless. SAP provides integration tools specifically for this,
Okay.
which is vital because it gets rid of needing to manually export and import data, which saves a ton of time and massively reduces the chance of errors creeping in.
Right, avoids the copy-paste errors from spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Okay, so summing up, ERP is tracking the day-to-day reality. BPC looks ahead, using that reality to plan and consolidate. Maybe one final example to tie it all together.
Okay, let's use that manufacturing company again. They use
Yeah.
ERP for everything, daily. Making stuff, selling it, managing stock levels.
Yeah.
Then, maybe at the end of the month or quarter, BPC automatically pulls the actual sales figures, the actual production costs, all that detail straight from ERP.
Okay.
The finance team then uses BPC to see how those actuals stack up against the budget they set earlier. They can analyze why things are different, maybe adjust the forecast for the next quarter based on what they're seeing.
And produce the official reports.
And BPC uses that same ERP data, pulled and consolidated, to generate the official financial statements for the whole company. See how they link.
Yeah, absolutely. So the big takeaway seems to be SAP ERP manages the operational nuts and bolts with integrated, real-time data. SAP BPC takes that data and focuses it on future financial planning, budgeting, and consolidation. They really are complementary.
Perfectly put. One handles the doing, the other handles the planning and reporting, using the results of the doing. They work together for that holistic business view.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, and maybe a final thought for you to consider is just how much of an advantage does a company gain when its real-time operations are so tightly linked to its strategic financial planning? In a market that changes so fast that it